Don't sell yourself short, ladies and gentlemen. You can make it happen too. Your dreams can come true too. Do you believe that? Do you believe that life up ahead can be a lot better than where it is now? I hope you do. That's where it all starts. It all starts with our belief. It all starts with what we believe to be true. You can make it happen. It's possible. Do you say this to yourself often? What did we just watch before Jim Rohn? We looked at Michael Jackson talking about, or his nephew saying, hey, he writes affirmations. He writes his vision. He put it everywhere. Do you write anywhere on your wall, on your mirror, in your page? It's possible. The life I'm looking for, the life I want is possible. I can make it happen. It's gonna happen. Like, do you say these things to yourself? Or do you allow the doubt to creep in? Do you allow society to creep in? Do you allow people to take your peace, your joy, your happiness? Do you allow external things to create your internal world? We got to remember this stuff if we want to get to the life that we don't need a break from, ladies and gentlemen. Not everyone gets that life. Not everyone gets to live an extraordinary life, but it's possible. And that's what you got to remember. It's possible. You heard Jim Rohn in there. These are things we know. Are we doing what we know? Are we doing what we know? We got to get better. You got to get better. I got to get better. We have to get better. Life is not going to get easier. We can get stronger or not. It's your choice. But life ain't going to get easier. The world's going to have more issues. Your family's going to have more issues. People are going to die. People are going to get sick. You're going to have financial struggles. You're going to have challenges. Life is going to get harder. I hope we all start there. It's not going to get easier. It's not just going to magically like, oh, finally life is easier. Nope. But what we have control over is we can get stronger. We can have more mental toughness, emotional intelligence. We can work on ourselves to have the capacity to handle the life that's up ahead. That's what we can choose. We can choose to get stronger. We can choose to get better. We can choose to read the books. We can choose to block out the noise. We can choose to separate ourselves from the environment. We can choose to write out our vision. We can choose to write out mantras and affirmations and meditate and take time. Like we choose that. But life is not going to get easier. So you can choose to get stronger or not. You can let life kick your butt for the rest of the time here. I know that's not you guys. I know that's not us. We're going to get stronger. We're going to get better. Are we doing what we know? Are we doing all the things? Got to remember that. Seize the opportunity. Seize the opportunity that you have today. Jim Rohn, again, we've heard this before, but he talks about these seasons. Seasons are predictable, right? You got fall and then you got winter. Every time fall is done, you know it's winter coming up. And after winter comes spring. We know that. And after spring comes summer and then fall all over again. Well, that's the way life works. You're going to go through your winters. They might not be as predictable as the actual seasons where you have 3 months of this or 4 months of this. It might be a year, it might be 6 months, it might be 2 weeks, it might be 5 years of a winter, of a spring, but that's how our lives work. So when you're in that springtime, when there's opportunity, where the weather is getting better, where you're feeling better, where things are kind of moving in the direction you want, you can see the things blooming. You got to seize the opportunity. You got to, like he said, put some things away, sacrifice some things. Hey, this is my springtime. I'm going to go plant. I can't do that right now. Come back in the winter, come back in the fall, come back in the summer even. Like I'll do that later. But right now, I have to seize this opportunity because we don't get many springs. We don't get many springtimes. Life is short and long. It's funny. Life is short and long at the same time, right? But at the end of the day, you got to seize it. So what opportunities are around you that you're not seizing? What opportunities are around you that you're putting aside that you know I should jump on this right now? You got to think about that in your own life. Don't waste your springs. Give it your best. When have you given anything, everything? I'll say that again. When have you given anything, everything? You got to think about that. When have you given your marriage everything you have? When have you given your health everything you have? When have you given your job, your work, your career, everything you have? Or do we always save a little bit? Do we always have a little reserve right? We say, I'm going to give it 80%. This is an Eric Thomas thing where he used to say, you got to give 120%. 120%. Are we living at 120 or are we living at 80? We living at 70? We living at 60? We're only giving a little bit here and there. People, I used to have people come into business with me all the time and they would procrastinate and they'd say, right, like, I want to give it my all when I jump in. And then they never jump in. So that would assume that they're giving their all to something else. But then when I look at their life, they're not giving their all to that either. Maybe they've never given everything, anything, everything. That's our work. You want to get to the life you don't need a break from. You got to figure out how to give things all you got, all your focus, all your energy, all of it into something that's going to reap the benefits, reap the harvest. Give it your best, nourish your values. Here's a big one: fight back. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to fight. You got to fight for the life you want. It's not just going to come to you. You got to fight for it. You're in the ring of life. You're in the boxing ring of life. Are you going to let life just continue to throw haymakers and knock you down? It's every other month there's a challenge. Every other, like life is just kicking people's butts left and right. It might not be you, but it's the people around you. They're just getting their butt kicked over and over again. Why? Because they're not strong enough to handle the right, to handle the life that they're asking for, and they're not fighting back. You got to fight. You got to fight for the life you want. You got to fight for the things that you know you deserve. Jim Rohn gave you some internal things to fight against. He said, fight against indifference. Indifference. It's okay. If I get it, I don't. If I don't, right? Like that indifference. We have to fight against that. You have to know what your values are. You have to go after things. You have to fight the indecision. The indecision. The not making a decision is making a decision. Not making like a choice about which direction you're going is making a decision. We have to fight against indecision. In one of the 177 mental toughness secrets, it says champions are decisive. We make decisions, good, bad, and different. Why? Because we know if we make the decision and it's not right, we can course correct. We can say, oh, that wasn't the right decision. And then we move, we pivot. But what if we just stayed where we are and never made a decision, never made a decision to change our health, never made a decision to change our financial life, never made a decision in that business, never made a decision in that relationship? Like you're just indecisive. You're going to stay where you are. And the last thing he said you got to fight against is doubt. We all got a little bit of it. We all got a little bit of, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm not really sure. How do we overcome that? We got to speak better to ourselves. We got to write those affirmations like Michael Jackson did. We got to start telling ourselves that we're great. We got to start like not doubting this process. For you believers, you got to stop doubting that God is big. You got to stop doubting that like he's not going to come through. You got to stop doubting this process. And you have to have courage. You have to have faith. You have to push yourself through in order to get to the life that you don't need a break. In our text, the 177 mental toughness secrets, one of them, this one 96 says, the great ones always push for progress. That's what we're doing, y'all. We're getting better. We're getting better. We're pushing for progress. We're moving forward, right? Progress equals happiness. If any of you are feeling, right, getting hit in a depressive state or, right, any of those things, not feeling the joy, the happiness, all the stuff, it's because we're probably not making progress. Those of you that are in business with me, you'll understand this concept. It doesn't matter if you make the money, but when the appointment gets set, when you have the good appointment, when the person comes into business, you feel better. No results have really happened. No money has hit the bank account. Nothing is really but like, man, we just had that really great meeting. We're making progress. That internally makes you feel good. Progress equals happiness. Are you progressing in your financial life? Do you see yourself moving forward? Are you progressing in your health life? Is your relationship progressing? Are you progressing in your spiritual life? Are you getting better? That will create the happiness. That will allow you to get the momentum to keep going. When we don't see progress, when we don't feel like we're moving forward, when we know we're stagnant, when we don't see us moving, that's when all the other things set in. That's when the doubt, that's when the depression, that's when the indecisive, that's when it sets in because we're not moving. So we got to always push for progress, y'all. Push for progress. Here's what it says in the text: says the masses tend to rebel against change and progress. It makes them feel uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. They perpetually long for the good old days, although you sometimes get the feeling they were doing the same thing then. The pros know progress is the way of the world. It needs to be embraced and supported at every turn. In recent years, the gap between amateurs and pros has widened because of the rocket like acceleration of progress in business and in life. The great ones think progressively and talk almost exclusively about the future. Their philosophy seems to be onward and upward. While most people are complaining about how things are never going to be the same, champions are applauding the same concept. They know things are not supposed to be the same, that progress is the natural order of a healthy, growing society. Amateurs feel victimized by progress. It scares them. The fear and scarcity they carry inside themselves is saying, well, what if I'm not good enough to survive in this new environment? Meanwhile, the world class is saying, bring it on. I hope this is your mindset of like, whatever changes, whatever progress we need to make, bring it on. Let's go. It's possible. I can do this. You can reach your goals. Life can be better. You can get to the life you don't need a break from. Like the constant belief that you have to have that you are moving forward, whether you see it or not, like whether it's actually like talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about that pain phase where you have that cognitive dissonance where what you see in your mind is not what you actually see in your environment. Like you know you're a millionaire in your mind, you see it, like it's how you operate, but when you look at your bank account, it doesn't say that. When you look at your investment, like it doesn't say that. That pain stage, that phase, you have to have the belief that it's always going to work, that it's going to get better, that you're going to get better, that things will change and we're going to change along with it for the better so we can get to the life we don't need a break from. You got to know this. You got to have this attitude. Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. People that are successful think this way. We think this way. We're thinking about the future. We're thinking about progress. We're thinking about moving forward. We're not thinking about the past. I need y'all to do the same thing. I need y'all to do the same thing. This Friday, May the 1st, it's a brand new month. Let's start thinking about, man, what does June look like? How are we going to get through May and continue to grow in our financial life, in our spiritual life, in our health, in our relationships, in all the areas, so that June looks different, so that July looks different, so that the end of the year looks different. We're pushing for progress. Just like Jim Rohn said, don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Wish you had more courage. Wish you were better, had more faith. Wish you activated your faith more. Don't worry about what's happening around you and in the world and all the things. Don't let the doubts creep in. Don't let the negativity creep in. Start to do the things you know you need to do to get you to the life you don't need a break from. I love you guys. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. If no one tells you, I'll always tell you, you deserve to win. But it's going to require you to change. It's going to require you to get better. It's going to require you to unlearn and relearn some new things that are going to help you get to the life that you want. You're going to have to take away some of that stinking thinking that is no longer serving the man or woman you are and the man or woman you want to become. I know it's gotten you thus far, but it's not going to take you to the next level. So we got to change those things. Life's not going to get easier. You got to get stronger. Or not. It's your choice, but I know what you're going to choose. Go out this weekend, do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone, do something that challenges you, do something that scares you, and watch how your May becomes different than your April, becomes different than all the rest of the beginning of the year. We can go off and do this thing. I'm encouraging y'all to go do it. I'll talk to y'all on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Take care. Peace.